Romie here. You can follow me at Romie Omni on my social media, or please like, comment, subscribe to this video, to my channel. And this is just a how-to video of when you initially get started with Pokemon Go, the do's and don'ts. Okay, so when you initially get started with Pokemon Go, of course, you create your avatar and you create your name, create the look, and all of that. Once you get past all of that, as long as you know the servers are acting right, make sure that when you're choosing a star Pokemon, Pikachu is an option. And it's usually the best option because it's an electric type and it has certain abilities that other Pokemon won't have at that base level. So choose Pikachu. What you have to do is you have to go and walk around when they're telling you to choose between Squirtle, Bulbasaur, and Charmander. Instead, walk away and keep walking around. Pikachu will eventually pop up. Unfortunately, I didn't know this until after I chose Bulbasaur. Even though I usually would choose Bulbasaur anyway, I was upset because I'm like, for this game, I would have chosen Pikachu. But, so that's one of them. Two, make sure that you actually stock up on the Pokeballs. And when I say stock up, when you're engaging with a Pokemon, you have the option of saving the Pokeball, rescuing it if it doesn't make contact with the Pokemon. So what you do is, of course, when you're flicking up, to throw the ball, if it misses, you have around 2 seconds to go and save it. Around 2 seconds to go and save it. If you don't do that, it's gone forever. And trust and believe, I'm at the point where I'm just in the stages between level 5 and level 6, and I'm out of Pokeballs. I'm like, are you serious? I actually contemplating buying Pokeballs, which I may have to, because I don't think I'm going anywhere today, and there's definitely Pokemon in my area. I may have to. Oh yeah, and by the way, you want to do this because if you're, again, at a lower level and you run out of Pokeballs, you do not have the option of going into your bag and actually maybe going and purchasing some Pokeballs on the spot. No, I ran into that issue. You can't do that, at least not as of yet. And I was so pissed. I was so pissed. It's like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And another thing with Pokemon Go is when you're not using it and you have the game open, please turn off your GPS. Or please turn it off because it can be a battery killer for some people depending on what phone you have. And also your location is made present. There's other people who can go on there and know where your general area is. So it's really important for safety reasons to go and turn off your location or to close out the app when you're not using it. Another thing is, obviously, when you're driving, don't do it because unless you're in a lot of traffic, you will not be able to go and actually capture that Pokemon because by the time you try to go and make contact with it, it'll be out of range. This is what normally happens. So it doesn't really help if you're the one driving and also playing Pokemon Go. Aside from safety issues, for logical reasons, they're staying within a certain area. So there is that. Also, if you're looking for water Pokemon, go where water is. Sometimes they'll occasionally pop up in other areas, but go where the water is. Also, please do not go into certain businesses and stuff if they're not advertising that they're doing anything special for Pokemon Go. A lot of businesses and landmarks will be like Poke stores and things like that. So you just have to go close to them, like be outside or be within certain feet of them. That's all you have to do. Please don't go into businesses or people's houses. I mean, I know people get excited. Please pay attention when you're outside in the real world. Because people, like I said, they know where you are. If you're really like this or even like this, they may realize you're playing Pokemon Go and realize you're not paying attention to anything else. Don't get robbed out here in these streets. I don't want to see anyone robbed out here in these streets. I really, really, really don't. The other thing with Pokemon Go is that you can go and trade a Pokemon, and when you trade the Pokemon, it technically is like sending it to the professor, but you get not a Pokeball, you get a Pokemon specific candy, Pokemon candy, so to speak. meaning that you need those in order to power up your Pokemon and also to level up your Pokemon, meaning make sure that they're able to evolve. So you only do that if the Pokemon is weaker than the other one that you want to level up. It will not give you a Pokeball. It will give you a Pokemon candy, which you'll use to level up that Pokemon. Is there anything else in particular that I want to say, at least at this point? The game is not broken or destroyed just because you may not be able to play it at certain times. They're still having some server issues once in a while because they're adding more countries. So, you know, just check back in a couple of hours or maybe in a day. I know this is still a work in progress. Oh, you also have the option of turning off the, it's not virtual reality, augmented reality feature. Yes, there's two options. You can turn off the motion so that there's no more movement, or also you won't see stuff in the background. That's important because it's easier. It is easier to do that. It's not necessarily as much fun, but it is easier. And so, for example, maybe I wouldn't have wasted as many Pokeballs if I turned off that feature. Have a lot of fun doing it. Just remember that even though you're going out into the real world and that's a positive, actually interact with some other people, but don't just interact with any type of stranger. And don't get into any fights over some damn Pokemon. So, again, I'm only at level 6, so I'm sure I'll have more tips and tricks for you. Please stay tuned. Please go on Google and actually see like what companies are doing certain things for Pokemon Go, because they're all doing something.